On this Thursday, I got a lot of things that I want to talk about and show you. One being more Jalen Ramsey updates. Can we just, if he's going to stay, have him stay. If we're going to trade him, flip and trade him. Tyreek Hill had a lot to say, and we're going to react to that. And then Teron Armstead is talking more about the Miami Dolphins. Let's jump into this. What is up, Finn fans? I got a cut on my finger. I don't know where it came from, but I just rubbed it, and that hurt like a mother. I don't know if you could see it. No, you can't even see it. It's not even... Hi. Good morning. Hope you're having a fantastic morning. It is Thursday, 7 o'clock. It's not for me, but it is for you. So, yeah, I found an article from this one, Adam Schefter. He was on ESPN Radio, and he said some things about Jalen Ramsey. So we're going to talk about that because, again, and then Tyreek Hill said some things as well. We're going to talk about that. And then Teron Armstead talked about a Miami Dolphin, and that wasn't Tua because apparently that rubs people the wrong way. He talks a little bit about our boy Chop. But before we jump into all that, I do have to shout out today's sponsor, and it's my buddy, my pal, my amigo, Sean Seipler of Clean the World. I've talked about him. I think me and Sean have been working. He's been doing this for 16 years. And if I'm remembering correctly, me and Sean have been working together for, I think, over 2 years. Really good friend of mine. Consider him like a brother from another mother. Does some great things, whether it's third world country, natural disasters, the homeless. He helps so many people with these kits that has some repurposed soap in it that is cleaned and all that good stuff. He has the Wash Foundation that also gets people clean drinking water, shower stations, all that stuff. Go check it out. Cleantheworld.org. He also has the Wash Foundation attached to that as well. Go check it out and support if you can. Great stuff he does there. So we're going to start with the Jalen Ramsey stuff. And this is from Rams Wire. Obviously, because the Rams are in there. This is from Cameron De Silva, writes it from the Rams Wire. But this is what Adam Schefter said on ESPN Radio on Tuesday. Schefter shared the latest Rams futures, saying the Rams continue floating around, and so do the Chargers, essentially adding Jalen Ramsey. I think Pittsburgh checked in. I'm not sure that Pittsburgh's going to be the destination. In fact, if I had to guess, I would say Pittsburgh would not be the likely destination. I think when you're trying to figure out a home for Jalen Ramsey, two teams that make sense, and we'll see how it plays out, would both be in Los Angeles, be it the Chargers or the Rams. I know people have brought up the Rams, and the Rams just continue to float around out there. It would have to work financially for both sides, and I think that's a possibility still, but I think LA is generally is a possibility. And honestly, a lot of people have asked, what is the holdup? Why is this happening? Why isn't that happening? Yada, yada. And it's probably compensation, right? The Dolphins want a certain criteria, but also they don't want to have to pay, because the whole point of trading Jalen Ramsey is to get cap relief. And I have showed you that we would go from 13 to about 21 million, give or take, in cap relief by trading him. But if we did some type of compensation to help with the draft pick or help to, facilitate a trade of him, we wouldn't get the cap relief. And as we've seen on other articles and all that stuff, the Dolphins seem to, have not made a move towards Jair because they're waiting on the Ramsey situation. So I honestly think the Ramsey situation is probably going to be resolved. We're sitting here now on the 26th of June. I give it after the 4th of July. I think, give it a week or two before training camp. I think the Ramsey situation will get resolved. Could it be fixed? I will never say never. You never know what happens. But the likely percentage that I would give that he's being traded is like 90%. I think, there's still a chance. There's that 10%. Maybe this culture thing that's happening and all that stuff could sway him, but for me, it's likely he's going to be traded. So there's that. Now we're going to listen to some interviews. And this is from Teron Armstead. Teron Armstead listed his top 5 pass rushers, and this is who he had at number 4.
Chop Robinson.
Young buck.
Chop Von Miller-esque. Von Miller-like.
Got the dip? Hey.
Von Millerism.
Ooh, okay.
He has that.
Slippery.
Chop has that. He started off the year slow, really slow. The second half of the season, Chop was arguably the best pass rusher in the league. His get off is elite. His ability to bend is elite. He's learning more about the game. He's getting more cerebral. He's having a plan. He's going to start the year off. He's blazing, coming out the gate this year. He get Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips out there with him, so can take some of the attention off of him. He get more one-on-one opportunities. I can see him leading the league in sacks. Maybe not this year.
Okay. He didn't have big sack numbers coming out of school. People were questioning him, and they skipped. I remember that draft process. Everyone was talking about the freak athletic ability. Is there a moment that stands out where you said, hey, this dude is just different because of the traits?
You've seen it early, OTAs. You've seen him just move because he coming from the same school as Michael Parsons. So he had the Michael Parsons comparison. I don't really see the Michael Parsons comparison as a player. I see more Von Miller. So I see the movement ability, but once he was able to start putting things together throughout the season, you saw the production. Yeah. And it's scary. He is, I'm telling you, he's going to get double teamed. He's going to get chipped by tight end.
Yeah. All right.
And that would be beautiful. Again, all of us would really, really like that to be what happens, especially that Von Miller. They both wear 44, which is kind of funny. That Von Miller comparison, and like Teron said, as the season went on, he did get better, and now it'll be another year with Weaver, who definitely can mold him into that pass rusher that we need. And like Teron said, having Chubb and having Phillips out there, if there's a possibility of having all 3 of them on the field at the same time, have 2 on the outside, take one of them, put him at middle linebacker, and then you have Sealer, and you send all of them, you confuse the crap out of the opposing offensive line, and all that speed from all 3 guys would be incredibly dangerous. I think there's a bright future for Chop. He just has to put it all together. He has the speed, he has the athleticism. He's just, sometimes I've noticed he's overshot. He's fallen a little bit, but that seemed to have been a thing for Jalen Phillips too. I noticed they keep sliding as they're coming around. They keep sliding. So, high hopes for him coming into this season, especially if the Dolphins keep staying pat at corner, which I'm hoping they add at least 1 veteran and 1 veteran offensive lineman for depth before training camp starts. Which I'm probably going to make a video about that, like additions the Dolphins should make before training camp, whatever. He can be good. He can be really good, and we need that pass rush. They weren't great last year, 27th. It wasn't great. So, next we are going to listen to Tyreek Hill, and he talked English, Doug. You'd learn it. He talks about Miami and the whole wanting to be out and this and that, and you'll notice something. And I'm gonna address him. I'm gonna talk about it when we listen to all this Tyreek Hill clips. His attitude has changed a little bit. And what caused it to change?
I want to be in Miami, dog. My mindset is being in Miami. Coach McDaniel, the franchise, the community, they have done a great job of just standing beside who I am as a man, as a player. I don't even got to be the highest paid, man. I just want to win ball games and take advantage of being in this great organization of the Dolphins, dog. Fuck the Bills, though. Always. That's always my mindset, dog. I want to beat them so bad, dog.
So now he wants to be a Dolphin, obviously, and we've talked about his quote at the end of last season where he said, I'm out, yada, yada. Obviously, it was a heat of the moment type situation. We've had the beat writers say that, he didn't want to come out, and he kind of they were like, no, you have to go talk to him. So it was a heat of the moment situation. But hopefully he did turn it around, and hopefully he is more of a team player. Not saying he isn't, but that goal of hitting 2K in 2023 seemed to have been very important. And I think he talks about McDaniel in one of these clips, but his whole F the Bills thing, it's definitely a Chiefs thing as well. It's not even just a Dolphin thing, because Chiefs don't like the Bills, Bills don't like the Chiefs. This is about McDaniel. So let's see if he talks about his whole wanting to knock him out situation.
I got a chance to be around Mike McDaniel as my time in Cleveland. I know like how
he's weird, right?
Intricate he is. How
he's odd.
He's an odd dude, but he knows his shit. When you're talking to scheming, when you're in putting guys in the right position as far as the game plan goes through the week. Speak a little bit about him and how much he's been able to free you up and put you in position to be able to really succeed.
He's one of those guys that at first, like I said, he was odd. You know what I'm saying? But, I'm in year 4 with Mike now, and our relationship is great. He spends a lot of time inside of the office, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing, trying to get, us open, me, Waddle, A-Chain, just coming up with different concepts and stuff like that. I will say he's probably one of the best offensive coordinators I've been around, like one of the best minds I've been around. And the way he utilizes me, you know what I'm saying, in motion.
He said one of the best. He didn't say the best for people to lose their crap about the Chiefs offensive coordinators.
And jet sweeps and just whatever it takes to get me open. Like those 2 years I had 1,700 yards in a row, it was just, you know what I'm saying, him and his creativity,
man. 1,700 is crazy.
It's crazy, bro. Like now that I think about it, it's crazy, bro. But Mike is a genius, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a nerd for a reason. He's a nerd for football.
Football nerd for sure.
Football nerd for
Especially
sure.
when you're playing in a position where he's moving you around different positions, inside, outside, in the slot.
Yes. And what's crazy is he sees the game through receivers. So he used to be a receiver coach, and, like, everything that we do is route timing. You know what I'm saying? It's route depth. You know what I'm saying? You got to be in this spot at a certain time whenever the quarterback is ready to throw. And, like, I've never been, like, being in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes, it was different. You know what I'm saying? It was just like playground. Just get open. Pat, he'll find you. You know what I'm saying? But in Miami, it's timing, it's accuracy. Got to be in a spot.
And that's the biggest difference. And a lot of people, we were on the Dolphin Collective, and we were comparing Josh Allen and all that stuff. Completely different world, completely different quarterback. It's you look at like Tom Brady, and you look at even Matt Ryan. You look at these quarterbacks that aren't mobile quarterbacks and the pocket passers. You need to have structure, right? Because, you make your reads, and, you see where your receivers are and if they're going to get open, and read the defense and make sure all that stuff. Whereas you have Mahomes, you have Lamar Jackson, you have Josh Allen, you have these other guys who, once they evade the pocket, like Tyreek said, it's backyard football. Just get open. Just run, do what you got to do, get open, and I'm going to just wing the ball to you. So it's a different concept, and it's a different play style with Tua, because he's just not that guy. And, we've seen clips of him in 2018, but I'm telling you, the hip injury changed him. And I think it changed his throwing motion. It changed a lot of things. And if you go back and watch my my prospects ranking, I was fearful that hip is going to shorten his career and make his play different, and it might have. So this one's funny. I'm just gonna let you listen to it, and I'll tell you my thoughts on it.
Probably easy to look at that like Super Bowl loss and be like, maybe that's the end of the dynasty for the Chiefs. I don't think so. I think they're gonna probably be back in that position quite a lot as long as they have Mahomes.
Man, you sleep, bro. The Dolphins gonna take that, bro. You just talking.
You heard it here first. Taking the AFC?
Taking the AFC. Miami Dolphins taking the AFC, bro. Don't doubt it, bro. Like, bro, we just seen OKC and the Pacers in the finals. Anything can happen, right? I'm just saying.
Got to mix it up a little bit. Get some fresh meat in there for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
How do you envision that, that AFC Championship going if it ends up being maybe a Chiefs, Dolphins, AFC?
Ooh.
I think that's something we would all like to see.
Well, we all know Tua is the best quarterback in the NFL. We all know that, right? So it'll be a great thing, dog. Playing against former team, playing against Andy, Pat, and the guys, Kelsey. It'll be great, man. I don't know. It'll be a very emotional game for me, dog.
Probably easy.
So I found that quote funny, because he's back to that mentality. He's back to, because if you remember, there was a stint during the off season, whether it was like before free agency or before the draft or whatever, he was just messing with the fans. He came out with this list of top 5 quarterbacks, and Tua wasn't on there. He, was making jokes about getting traded. He was making jokes about this. And now he's at, I think this is the Fanatics thing or whatever, but it's Glory Days podcast. And he's there, and he went back to saying Tua is the best quarterback in the NFL, and we're going to win a Super Bowl, yada yada. So he's back to that mentality. He's back to, hyping up his team. So and again, I'll talk about my thought process on that, but there's a few more clips I want to listen to, and he talks about Tua here.
Obviously a lot of talk around Tua. Me personally, as I sit here, being a former quarterback, I think he's the guy for you guys to make it happen. Like, I see a guy who's only continuing to get better, hopefully able to stay healthy. But, speak a little bit about him and how it is playing with him, because in my eyes, he's a top 10 quarterback in the league all day, every day.
Of course, bro. Like, his QBR is like number one.
So if you don't know who that is that's talking, I think that's Johnny Manziel. I think it doesn't sound like him, but I think that's Johnny Manziel. Yeah. Wow. That does not. Yeah, Glory Days is Johnny Manziel. That does not sound like Johnny Manziel. Holy crap. So Johnny Manziel thinks that Tua is a top 10 quarterback in the league all day, every day. That does not sound like Johnny Manziel. Holy crap. Wow. Okay. It doesn't even really look like him. I'll show you. I'll continue playing the clip. Hopefully I don't get demonetized. Not this one. Let's try this one. It doesn't even look like him. Holy moly. Sound like a radio personality. I'm going to make it tiny so people won't. But look.
But I feel like Tua has gotten better every year as a leader. Ever since Mike came in, Tua has taken hold of, being that franchise quarterback for this team.
That's Johnny Manziel.
And I feel like this year he's taking it to another level. The first year was, getting acclimated, getting comfortable with who we were as a team. The second year was finding our identity, and we was like the number one offense. But this year I feel like Tua has really, grabbed on to being our franchise guy, and he stepped up in ways that we all need him to step up in. He's holding guys accountable. He's making sure guys are, at the right spot, for him. And he's fucking cussing out the old linemen whenever they're not protecting them. So I feel like I'm seeing a different version of Tua. And like, I remember when I was in Kansas City, this is like, bro, I used to see the same thing from Pat. It was a beautiful thing, man. So I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
First off, Tyreek, potty mouth. I have a PG channel. I don't like cursing on here, and you're over here dropping the F-bombs. Come on, man. Yeah, I had no idea that was Johnny Manziel. He doesn't even look the same. He doesn't sound the same. Holy crap. I hope so, man. And I think I'm going to start making merch for this season. And the mantra for us fans should be show me. Show me. I'm going to talk to my graphics guys and see if I can get, some graphics made, some merch made for Show Me 2025. Because, it's great to hear. It's great to hear he's, taking more of a lead as a leader from Tyreek's point of view, and he's cursing, offensive linemen out, making sure people in the right spots and doing this, and that, and blah, blah, blah. Cool. Fantastic. Show me. Win. That's all I care about. Winning, winning, winning. This one, he is talking about the team culture.
This year, as one of the leaders, dog, I told the guys, like, it's time to change who we are as a team. It's time to change the narrative about we are not able to play in cold weather. We are not a physical team, man. So I'm tired of that narrative, bro. I'm tired of living, behind, like not being able to go to the playoffs and win in Miami, dog, because we got a damn good team. We got a good quarterback. We got a good offensive lineman. And we got some good coaches. And we got some good people in the community who deserve to be a part of that. So I feel like this is the year that we change all of that, dog.
See, and as a fan, that gets you you can't sit here and not think that doesn't get you a little hyped up. Hearing him say that and all that stuff. But again, it's fantastic to hear, but we need to see it. Like, that's the biggest thing, is we definitely need to see it. But I think his whole attitude changed, and he is now taking the whole new culture mantra, and he's taking all this stuff, and he is running with it. And I think that has a lot to do with probably sitting down, talking to McDaniel, and them like, look, we want to work with you. We want to do this. We don't want to trade you. But we need to change the culture. Because if you notice, a lot of the guys who have come out during mini camps and OTAs, and a lot of the guys who have talked about culture and talked about what it is now, Bradley Chubb, Alec Ingold, Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, you have all Sealer, you have all of these guys who are most likely going to be captains. And they are now the guys who Mike McDaniel is entrusting to enforce this on the younger guys. And if you watched yesterday's video when I had the fish tank on, OJ McDuffie was talking about the culture starts with the guys in the locker room, not with the coaches. And the guys in the locker room, especially the vets, especially the guys with the C on their jersey, need to take control of that. And if Tyreek Hill's going to be here pushing that and talking about that, then we need to continue to see it. And, hopefully this is the year where all of a sudden, a lot of people who are naysayers, and I'll raise my hand, I'm one of them, I have low expectations for this season, get surprised. Be fantastic, because we had high expectations in 2024 and we fell flat on our face. So gonna be very interesting how the rest of this plays out. But comment below, let me know what you guys think about what Tyreek had to say, what Teron had to say, the whole Jalen Ramsey situation. Comment below, let me know. I will see you guys tomorrow. We are doing camp position battles, tight ends. And this one's intriguing because Jonnu has not gotten a new contract yet. So as of now, Jonnu is not with the team because he hasn't been at minicamp. So this battle is going to be very interesting. So see you tomorrow. Like usual, stay classy and fins up.